So it all began. The record label from the Netherlands, a fire ignited by Mark McCann, Jonathan Kievit and Lars Dingeman. The mission? Bring fresh ideas and minds of the industry to release ultimate renewed music. If you wanna know what happened behind the curtains, stick around, this is the story behind. Jonathan and Mark knew each other very well from a long time. So one day in a regular talk, Mark suggested starting a new record label. This will provide opportunities to help new artists and friends, providing them with a platform. Took quite a long time to shape a strong solid plan in terms of branding, what type of music they wanted, how to release it, all the details. So with many ideas, they needed urgently a label manager. Lars Dingeman was the man to call, a sharp mind member of Triple Vision Recordings, TEDx Rotterdam and the Elements crew, who are behind the Major League parties promoting electronic music in Holland since the 90s. In the words of Mark, Lars Dingeman was a fundamental part of the project. The man with the voice of reason. He said, someone who stopped us from going crazy with ideas and also to kick our asses when we aren't getting things done in time. And if you think about it, Lars is kind of a dad. Before we continue, it is important for you to understand the vital role that the Major League parties and Triple Vision Records played in the Dutch electronic music scenario.
When we started DJing in our own country, most of it was in Rotterdam, I think, and Utrecht. But mostly Rotterdam had the Major League nights, and there were some in Amsterdam, but I don't think, I remember a lot of people saying like there's not really a scene in Amsterdam. DJs from Amsterdam would just come to Rotterdam.
Have an idea of what promotion is? Look at this insane amount of parties and artists planned each weekend officially by the Elements crew. Here are some of them. The parties, most of them sold out. And what about Triple Vision? Rotterdam-based, founded in 1994, was originally a record shop for DJs and music lovers. The store sadly closed in 2011 to get fully focused on all aspects of music distribution, worldwide promoting and releasing a very large percentage of electronic music on vinyl and digital formats. 30 years specializing in house, techno, drum and bass and a big etc. list of subgenres in between. That's a huge amount of music. A Wall is to Divide, a great name for an EP to start with Divided. They also took up the itch, throwing a f***ing crazy party to launch the project officially. With people like Misanthrope, Jager, James Marble, MC Mota and obviously Abis and Signal. In the words of Mark, Jonathan is actually really into maths. So one day, Jonathan mentioned that the divided sign looks really cool and simple and rewarded it to divided. Also, they developed the idea of this, which were really interested into a designer from Russia called Uno, who Jonathan had worked with before. So here's the thing. Uno branded the entire visual concept. If you look at the logo, you will see the 3 divide signs replacing the eyes. Mark and Jonathan are very surprised that nobody's ever come up to them and mentioned it. This took us for surprise. I mean, now that it is explained, it's pretty obvious, but otherwise we don't have a clue. But what I can tell you is this. Mark is a multitasking leader. He's also taking part of some animations and visual designs. We'll talk about this later. What an interesting brand. I mean, it has surprises. Don't be confused and assume that they are talking about the Russian designer Uno Moralez, who is a brilliant pixel artist from a city called Ufa. There's another great artist, also self-called Uno, but from Moscow, and there is little information about him on the web, but what we know is that his art is now a hallmark for a generation of fans, music producers and DJs. Now, if you're a lover of dope visuals, you better take a look at this and immerse in the alternative world of Uno. For the first time, we had the opportunity to contact him. He told us about his beginnings. He said, "I started in 2015. I sent some of my works to the bridge, being inspired by Exit Records covers. I wasn't expecting anything, but he liked my works and asked me to create a cover for the Module 8 Legacy album." Uno also talked about some interesting visual artists that catches his eye. He said, "I like the works of my mate Universe Breeze. I love what Nikolai Domnin and Vlad Unkitty make. And also a big fan of Tom Jager and Steiner Graphic. He's a music lover and takes his passion to the next step. I make lots of mashups in my free time, mixing drum and bass. I even had a DJ set at the Moscow Mashup Festival. Lol. I like the music of Autonomic, Ivy Lab, Yellow Magic Orchestra, Susumu Hirasawa and Ambient, but mostly I listen to drum and bass." For the last part, he is very excited to answer some questions asked by the audience out there, and please feel free to write it down in the comment section. In its first year, they launched 4 releases, and what a releases, man. It was just a matter of time to get on top of Beatport. Let's see if it's a banger. So Dornrosje or Dornrosje,
Doornroosje.
Yeah, like that. So this place, the Sleeping Beauty, has been for over 50 years staged to different celebrities of pop, rock, hip-hop, techno, metal, jazz, you name it. Divided is one of the most innovative electronic music labels in recent years, also from Dutch soil. Prepare to experience the label night on this stage. They are starting firmly and strong on their first 2023 show, and for those lucky who have the opportunity to check them out, you'll see artists playing for the first time in the Netherlands, as well the return of familiar faces. Prepare to f***ing headbang. We saw it on October 28th, 2022 at Melkweg, Amsterdam. We need to add more details about this. Melkweg, or Milky Way in English, is pretty damn great. This place stands for pop culture since the 70s in the broadest of the senses. Each year, hundreds of concerts attract almost 500,000 visitors. And what about the Amsterdam dance event? Well, you better take a look at this. During the day, 8th, works like an inspiring network between the artists and the audience. It is a platform for the electronic music industry, but that's just one part, because in the night, people and DJs go unleashed in the Amsterdam clubs, prepared to be destroyed. The pioneers of this record label are pushing the foundations for a new sound, not only in the Dutch drum and bass scene, but also in the electronic music worldwide. They have the sound, they have the brand, and let's admit it, many people are really into Buunshin, the Carcal project, Tom Finster, Secula, Current Value, Latesleeper, etc. Not only in Europe or North America, but in many countries. Let's put this in a foreigner perspective. Fans, producers and DJs worldwide are wondering what this addictive sound could be. Where does it come from? One thing is truth, they are impacting new people day by day. 2022 was a very productive year, with many releases for the Divided family inside and outside the label. And let's consider this is a new producer's trip to get into Divided. In Mark and Jonathan words on an interview with UKF said, "So what can we be expecting from Divided in terms of releases? So far we don't have too many announcements for this year on social media, but we have some clues. In the fall of 2022, they launched a call for new producers. You can check it out on its official social media sites. Also, the past December, they launched another call to singers. It's pretty clear that we will have new faces in 2023, that's for sure. Maybe it could be you. I wish you the best of success." Divided is coming to its 5th year, and the story is still being written, especially by the fans. Get ready, because we are going to talk about the Divided collaborators. The whole pantheon to date: Disprobe, Missin, Buunshin, Synergy, Zombie Cats, the Carcal project, Greycode, Waze, Skylark, Latesleeper, Secula, Yoshuu, Gyrofield, Tom Finster, Current Value, Maysev. Surely this strong generation has inspired new producers, and why not, independent scene record labels and promoters. The role model that Lars Dingeman has shown with the major league parties on the Netherlands, also Melkweg and Eighth, blasting the Dutch drum and bass and electronic music scenario. The clear vision of Mark McCann and Jonathan Kievit about bringing a fresh turn to music, also expanding the community of collaborators of this record label. For those coming into this sound, whatever they call it, feel it or call it in your way, as long as their music gets you. It's just simply amazing electronic music. You have the chances to send your demo to them if you are a singer or producer. My respect to this amazing label. Now it goes like this. Don't you think that it is curious how math implies into this so much? Uno in Spanish means one, the divided sign. Jonathan is really into maths, and Buunshin, Professor Buunshin, is currently studying sonology at the Dutch Royal Conservatoire in The Hague. Give your thoughts about this and make your conclusions on the riddle hidden in the label art. This is important for you to know. The project is taking shape, and if you want to know more about music, you can feel free to ask, simply commenting on what would you like to see. This was Echo Sonare. Don't stop shining, people. See ya.